Guys, welcome to this Anon Gremlin video, and today we are going to be looking at the SW Toys Back in Time Tony Stark, I guess we'll call him, and we'll be looking at him compared to the Hot Toys Workshop Tony Stark and the other SW Toys Endgame figure. So if we quickly get into this review, what the figure comes with is obviously you have the box back there, but inside the box you have the glasses as an accessory, and that's about it, apart from these pretty basic 6 hands which it come with. No like amazing poses there. Also you got like grippy hands, fist hands, and then just the normal flat hands he comes with. So getting on to the figure itself, obviously what's most important to people is obviously the head sculpt and whether it looks like Robert Downey Jr. / Tony Stark. And personally I quite like it. When I first got out of the box I was a little bit iffy on it, but the more I've looked at it, the more I like it, especially for a third party figure. It is very nice. If I just quickly fiddle with his glasses, God, they're actually quite hard to remove. A lot different to the Woo Toy Stan Lee where they always fall off. Here we go. Here's the head sculpt without the glasses, and as you can see, it genuinely resembles Robert Downey Jr. The paint may be a bit soft, and there may be like a lack of detail on the face. It is very smooth, but literally cannot whinge about that. The brows seem pretty spot on, and I think that's what makes it look like Robert Downey Jr. to me. The hair also is very nice, nicely done, and yeah, all round I think that does look like Robert Downey Jr. Obviously it is a bit soft, but what do you expect for around £80 or £65, which I paid for him from eBay. So if we just kind of get him stood up there in a rigid kind of position. The one thing that I'm not too struck on with the figure compared to the like concept images of him is the suit that he comes in. He's advertised with a briefcase. I knew he wasn't going to come with a briefcase, but it would have been nice if he came with a briefcase. But when looking at the outfit, it just looks a little bit clumsy. Like if we look here at his waist, his trousers just seem to come too high, and they need to come that high, or else they'd obviously be draped over his shoes, or you wouldn't be able to get his shoes on. But they just seem a little bit too big for the figure, and therefore he kind of has this like Simon Cowell presence where he's got his trousers up too high. And again with the trousers, I find them to be very flared. They're not well fitting to the figure, but they've obviously used some generic trousers here, and that's kind of where that problem stems from. Also, the jacket just seems a little bit dark compared to the promo images. It just looked a lot more kind of realistic, I guess is the best way to put it. Here it just seems like a black piece of fabric made to look like a blazer, and obviously you have the Shield logo here, which kind of looks more defined, like more colourful, I would say, in the promo image, which is behind. But again, what do you really expect for £60? You obviously get the body with it and all the clothes, and obviously the head sculpt. The head sculpt could be $20 on its own. So that is kind of. I am being nitpicky, and it is kind of something that puts me off with the figure. But then I just kind of remember the price point, especially compared to Hot Toys, and I'm not too worried. So the body itself also is, as you can hear there, obviously not the best. It is prone to making nice screeching sounds. The joints aren't very loose though, they are very tight. I find them to not be like some figures where you have very loose joints, you can't hold a pose. These seem very stiff, which is quite nice. You obviously have to loosen them up, but you should be able to get them into some quite nice poses. The only problem you will have, don't know what I've got him doing here, the only problem you will have is the suit itself kind of hinders the movement of the joints, but that's because it is quite tight fitting. But again, that can be overcome, and is he going to be doing any really hardcore dynamic poses in this suit? Probably not. You're just going to have him stood there on your shelf looking all important and formal in his glasses. And if we just look at the legs, you can get like all sorts of articulation with these. You basically make him look like Neo off the Matrix if you wanted to. Kind of put him into some stupid poses there, but just to like demonstrate the like sheer flexibility of these legs. I guess the one thing you will have to be cautious with this body is I know it's not a Woo Toys figure, but it feels very much like the body used for their most recent third-party Stan Lee. When I was filming with that Stan Lee, his shoulder was very tight. I tried to pull it up, and because his blazer was tugging back on the figure, I snapped his arm. I've also got here the SW Toys. I'm pretty sure it's the Infinity War Tony Stark. I don't know what it's supposed to represent. If I can just quickly get him to stand next to him. I'm pretty sure these, well, I'm pretty much guaranteed these are the same head sculpts. But as you can see, the difference mainly is the paint application. This one on the left kind of looks like your old man Tony Stark, because he's the way they've painted the hair, it is very light. When I was watching like something like Justin Collectibles, I was looking at his review. The hair looks darker in person, or in the video, than it is in person. If it's not coming across, his hair is very grey. So if you look at the way they've obviously painted the sculpts here, what's better on the new SW Toys Infinity War figure is the fact that his hair is a darker colour, kind of looks more like Tony Stark. Although I don't mind the greyer hair look, to kind of like signify his aging on this left-hand figure. I much prefer the way SW Toys has decided to paint the sculpt on this one. And finally, just to complement these two SW Toys figures, I have the Hot Toys Workshop Tony from Iron Man 3. And as you can see, there is his head sculpt. And basically, compared to the SW Toys one, if I just quickly get rid of this eye goggle, although it does look like Tony Stark, I'm pretty much set on saying that the SW Toys sculpt compared to this Tony Stark sculpt is oh, everybody's falling over now. Is I'd say significantly better. It looks a lot more like Tony Stark or Robert Downey Jr. than the Hot Toys figure here. I'm pretty sure I am sound in saying that. I'm pretty sure most of you would agree that this one here is very much like Robert Downey Jr. So there is a comparison of the figures. Although I think the costume on the SW Toys figure is a bit clumsy, kind of looks a bit bits and bobby, it is fair enough for a figure that I basically paid £60 for, which is basically like 1/3 of the price of a Hot Toys figure. So for this SW Toys figure, I'm going to recommend picking it up, and I would recommend picking it up over this one here, just because although they have the same head sculpt, just the colour of the hair on the newer one, the Shield one here, is just significantly better in my opinion. It just kind of depends on what look you're trying to go for and whether you like the grey haired look. So that's the review for this. Thanks for watching. I know it's very clumsy, I know it's recorded on a really bad camera, but I just thought I'd get this out there because I know people wanted reviews of this Tony Stark, so thank you.